If you want to break the global economy, you don't need a nuclear weapon. You just need to park a few ships in the exact right spot. And today, the most critical 21 miles of water on Earth is caught directly in the crosshairs of a new US-Iran showdown. And the math is terrifying. Recently, Donald Trump officially rejected the latest proposal from Iran and is reviewing new military options. To most people, this sounds like another distant headline about foreign policy. But for the rest of the world, this isn't just about geopolitics. It's about a geographical choke point that dictates how much you pay for almost everything. Welcome to the Strait of Hormuz. It's a narrow channel of water between the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. At its narrowest, the shipping lanes are just 2 miles wide in either direction. You could practically fit that inside Central Park. Yet through this tiny, fragile aquatic hallway, nearly a fifth of the world's total oil consumption flows every single day. This is the subject of our story. The Strait of Hormuz is the world's most broken lifeline. And right now, under immense pressure, it is fraying. When we think of a military crisis, we usually picture aircraft carriers, drones, and tense situation rooms. But the real war starts much earlier, in quiet, sterile offices in London. Most people don't know that massive supertankers don't just sail wherever they want. They require insurance, lots of it. And when tensions rise in the Middle East, the maritime actuaries get to work. They issue something called war risk insurance. Imagine if tomorrow morning, the insurance on your Honda Civic jumped 400% just because your neighbor got into a screaming match on the sidewalk. That is exactly what happens in the Strait of Hormuz. When the US and Iran even hint at escalation, the premiums for these massive shipping companies can jump 400% in a single week. Before a single shot is fired, the cost of doing business skyrockets. And that cost isn't just eaten by shipping billionaires. It is passed down directly to you. It's baked into the price of your gas, the plastic in your phone, and the asphalt on your roads. The Strait of Hormuz is essentially a tax dial on the American consumer, and the dial is being turned up by people who have never even set foot in Ohio. Here is the ultimate irony of the standoff in the Strait of Hormuz. While Washington and Tehran are the faces of the conflict, they aren't the ones who will suffer the most if the strait closes. Let's look at the data. 75% of the oil and 60% of the liquefied natural gas passing through that strait isn't coming to America or Europe. It's going to China, India, Japan, and South Korea. The US is practically energy independent compared to Asia. So if the Strait of Hormuz shuts down, the Asian manufacturing sector collapses. And if Asian manufacturing collapses, the global supply chain doesn't just bend, it snaps entirely. But there is a much darker, hidden reality here. Ships don't just carry fuel out of the Persian Gulf, they carry food in. The Gulf countries are overwhelmingly desert. They rely on the Strait of Hormuz to import up to 80% of their daily calories. A military blockade isn't just an energy crisis. It is an immediate, catastrophic grocery emergency for millions of people. If the shipping lanes close for even a few weeks, the grocery store shelves in Dubai, Doha, and Kuwait City go empty. We are talking about the very real threat of a sudden manufactured famine, all because of 21 miles of water. So, how did we get here? How did the modern world build a system so unimaginably fragile? Geography created the choke point. Globalism exploited it for cheap energy. And now, geopolitics has weaponized it. For decades, we operated under the illusion that we had mastered the globe, that supply chains were perfectly optimized, infinite loops. But the Strait of Hormuz proves that our modern infrastructure is essentially built on a tightrope. We like to believe that wars are localized, that a conflict thousands of miles away can be contained to a neat little box on a map. But the Strait of Hormuz shatters that illusion. In a world this deeply, dangerously interconnected, there is no such thing as a local conflict anymore. The dominoes are lined up too closely. Whether you are a car owner in Ohio, a tech worker in Bangalore, or a family in Oman waiting for wheat, you are no longer a bystander. You are already on the same front line. And the clock on those 21 miles is ticking.